fam, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. So welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to bring you a video. Really the topic itself is a topic that was on schedule for a while that I wanted to talk about that I think is very important. But I want to just touch on the thing that made me totally go over the edge and say, okay, I'm going to do this video and I'm going to name it the way I'm going to name it. So first of all, there's a movie, if you didn't know, recently that came out. I forget where it came out, you guys, but it's a movie. It's literally called F.E.A.R. Forget everything and run. And of course, it's like an end of the world type of movie. But I didn't even get through the movie, you guys. It was horrible. One, the acting, I could not get past the fact of the acting. It was so atrocious. And then on top of the acting, I could not get past the fact of the decisions that people were making in the movie. Now, obviously it's a movie, you guys, but and obviously there's things like that they do as a form of entertainment. But as a prepper, I was like losing my shit. I was literally like, what is going on? I can't stand these decisions people are making. And I just was very, very upset. So I won't give, the whole movie away. Just know that it was super upsetting to watch this family make horrible decisions that directly affected their survival. Okay. And it leads into this topic that I want to talk about today, because as a mother, as a prepper, probably my number one fear ever in life is the day that something happens and we're in a world where people may come to our home hoping to get something out of it, right? Hoping to walk upon our home, and what can they pillage from it? What can they get from it? And they're ready and they're armed, right? And they know that they might have to fight and kill people to be able to get what they need. So you're going to have marauders. You're going to have groups of people that band up that are bad, that are going to be going, from place to place to scavenge, to get stuff, okay, to get supplies that they don't have. Now, the serious part of this is, where my fear comes in is how do you get past that, okay? And this is where I'm probably going to have some people disagree with me, and then I'm going to have some people that are going to be like, okay, and they're going to get something from the video, okay? Now, a lot of people will say, well, we're going to fight. You're not coming to my house and just taking my stuff. And I've literally said that stuff in other videos. Like, this is not a soft target. You're not about to just come in here and think you're going to take stuff, okay? And we will protect it. However, there is a point when things could be too dangerous, okay? One, you need to not do the basics like trusting people and letting people in, okay? That's the number one. Don't do that, all right? But the biggest thing is what do you do when the group is too big? A nasty group has come through. You knew they were coming because you have defensives, so you knew it was too big of a group for you to handle, okay? You can protect yourself, right? But you can't stand off a huge group of people or the state or whoever, right? You just can't do that, okay? Unless you want to go down in a blaze of glory and that's the point to do that, that's fine. But I'm a realist. Like, ain't nobody trying to go down in a blaze of glory. Now, I will, if we get to the point where we are all of a sudden in a firefight and we didn't see something coming, and then that's what happens. You stand your ground, and that's what happens, okay? That's like the military. I mean, at that point, yeah, you're fighting or you're going to die, and you might die, right? But I'm talking about a situation where you possibly see people coming. You possibly see that it is too big of a group. You're not going to be able to get through it, okay, you and your family. And so what's the plan, okay? So I wrote down some ideas that I want to talk about. And then I'm going to give you guys some tips like I always do at the end of stuff to do, okay? Or just some takeaways. So this is the thing is, okay, if I know they're coming and I have my family and we're like, okay, what are we going to do? I'm going to have spots around your home and property that are hidden places, places that you could go to hide for the meantime, okay, for a stint of time. So I'm talking anywhere from 24 hours to, you know, possibly a couple weeks, okay? My ideas, okay? I'm talking about stuff like hobbit holes, okay? I'm talking about, hey, you got some property, digging out a hole, kind of like hunters and people like that do, digging out a hole of some sort and making it have coverage, just something that you could quickly, if you got caught with your pants down, you were out in the woods, you see your house being overrun, you could get to this hobbit hole and essentially survive right there on the property. I'm talking about bunkers. Okay, so if you have a bunker, so now the thing about the bunkers is, you know, let's say you have a tornado bunker, something along those lines already. Well, a lot of those you can see clearly on your property that that's some sort of bunker or a root cell or something like that. So I'm talking about more of the secret bunkers. Maybe you get a tornado shelter, but you bury it in a way where it is not easy to tell that there's a bunker there, okay? Because a lot of them, you can tell, oh, that's a bunker, okay? So I'm talking about some sort of bunker you buy and you bury it in a way where people do not know that there's a bunker there, okay? Another thing is in your home, so safe rooms, right? Some sort of place in your home where you can make a makeshift smaller safe room, right? Some sort of room you can do up walls where they can't really tell there's a room there, okay? And it's a space that you guys can go to and be safe, okay? I'm not really talking about like a bulletproof safe, $100,000 safe room with thick walls. I'm not talking about that, you guys. I'm just talking about you throw up some false walls, look around your house, figure out where you could put some sort of small enclosed space that could be some sort of a safe room, and that's behind bookcases, or there's some way that you can get to it, but at the average person is not going to know that there's a door there that goes to a safe room, okay? Again, I'm not talking about some crazy expensive bulletproof place, okay? I'm talking about a little bit of drywall, some wood, put up some false walls and make some sort of room, okay? And you can do stuff like that below, right? So into the ground, let's say under the basement or wherever, or maybe within the home in different spots, okay? So think that through. Could be something as just like a pre-staged shed. So they have those really cheap sheds that are not very big, you guys, that you could just kind of put up in the backyard. Put that up for a couple $100, but then put like a hobbit hole or something underneath that to where you can go into the shed, and then you've done the floor or something somewhere where you actually go into a hobbit hole under this shed, okay? But if they look into it, it just looks like a shed with some tools, okay? So these are just ideas. You've got to have a where you're going to get to a point where it is it's a fear situation. It is we're going to be over. There's no getting past this. It's a forget everything and run to this spot. And your family needs to know where these spots are, because depending on where they get caught at, and we're making some sort of noise or alarm that people are on the property, go to the spot. That's all part of that emergency plan of survival. You have to have codes and sounds that you would do to make sure that the rest of your family knows, oh shit, somebody's on the property. And the kids know to run to where the closest spot that they can get to and get there fast, okay? So you've got to think about that. Now, listen, right now, today, we live in an apartment. So I 100% understand this. I don't have no hobbit hole out here. You know what I'm saying? I understand, and I get it. People are going to be frustrated like, Tasha, I listen to you every day, and damn well I don't have nowhere to put a hobbit hole. I can't just throw up false walls in this apartment. I understand that, but we have a contingency if this place was to get overrun, what we would do and how we would get out of this place. So at a minimum, figure that out. If we got overrun, there's a marauder group going through these apartments. How do we get out safely? We know what we're doing to get out of this apartment, okay? And get away from that. And the idea is, don't be some big bad person. Like if you do have land and property and you do get taken off guard, you've got to have a plan. And it doesn't always have to be that big bad plan like I'm going down in a blaze of glory. You know, if you could do that, cool, do it. But there's going to be a point where you might get overrun by something that's much bigger than what you can handle. And what's important is you being there for your family, not you going out and saving the world and now you're dead and now your kids and family are by themselves. Or worse yet, they get found and bad things happen to them and you're gone. Okay? So let's talk about some tips. So the same way that I want you to walk around your house and your property and look for areas and ideas to do this, I want you to do the same for your food preps, your regular preps. In your home, you should always have stuff that's hidden. You should have caches that are buried on your land. You should have food, like false food walls, okay? You could hide food, okay, in your home, hide supplies. Never have everything out in the open so that if some kind of group comes through like that, you guys have hidden, they're going to hang out for a little bit while they deplete those resources. So whatever food you had in the open, whatever water, whatever stuff that they see in the open that they are going to want to take, they're going to want to take. So think about that, because you want stuff out so that they're like, okay, and it looks realistic, but then you want the majority of that stuff hidden so that people do not have the opportunity to just clean you out. You wait it out, they leave, they push forward to get resources from somewhere else to go and pillage the next person. And then, you know, you and your family can eventually come out and get and reset defenses and things like that. Okay. So, it becomes, that's part of, to me, that's part of digging in and making sure that everything is not exposed to the average eye, so that they think that they're getting stuff, but they're not even getting close to what you really have there on the property. Okay. So hiding your extra preps, knowing your vantage points. So just knowing, this is really just your defensives to be able to tell, hey, when were people coming in? If you did have to get in some sort of firefight, where are your vantage points? Where are your high areas? Just knowing, because maybe you do the signal, everybody goes to their spots, but the adults know that they're going to stand their ground a little bit and methodically take out people, okay? And so when I say methodically taking out people in a smart manner, they're taking down the enemy little by little that's trying to come in, okay? And so knowing where does that firefight look like, what's your fire plan, where's your vantage points, your high areas, how do you make sure that you have the upper hand to try to force any kind of people back. And then just know what is the breaking point where you guys now know, okay, it's too much, we have to fall back to these spots, okay, these rooms, these hobbit holes, whatever the case may be, okay? And there might be opportunities, you know, in hobbit holes, being able to take out some of the enemy little by little. You just have to have a solid plan and know what you're going to do, but don't be a hero. You need to have your fallback locations, okay? Or a fallback location from the beginning. Hide from the beginning. There's no shame in that, okay? But you have to prepare for that, all right? And then the next thing is, I only got 2 more things, you guys. One is prepare those spots. So in those hobbit holes, in those safe rooms, in that bunker, whatever it is, you need to have just a couple weeks of stuff. Have some water, have a couple weeks of some basic MREs or basic granola bars, quick to eat foods that don't, you know, because you're not heating up anything in this bunker, okay? You're just eating cold stuff, you're drinking your water, you know, you're not doing anything. Maybe have some books down there that you can read, some entertainment, but you're not doing anything but being quiet and hoping that these fools leave your home so that you can come back out, okay? And you know, that's scary because who knows how long they're going to want to stick around. If your home is looking super cozy and super like delicious to them, and you have all types of resources out that they can see, you know, then you run the chance of them wanting to stick around and deplete it right there on the spot instead of taking stuff and just leaving and moving on to the next target. Okay, so you just really have no idea how long you could be in that spot. So make sure you prepare it with stuff, okay? And then this is my last tip, you guys. And it was the #1 thing in this movie that was just very, very frustrating is I'm a Christian, Okay. And I have a relationship with God, in that, in the sense too of, if something like this happens, the reason why it's so fearful, because it's very scary to think about what you might have to do to people, and what that looks like with your relationship with God and your beliefs and things like that. But and those decisions will be made, but baby, you cannot trust nobody. And I hate to say it, but if somebody tries to do you bad, and you catch them, you get them, you cannot just let them go. Do not trust people that they will take that lesson and they will leave with that lesson, that, okay, don't mess with these people. They won't. Okay, if you let people go, and you run the risk of your survival of your family, because you cannot trust people. And I'm not telling you right now, you have to do something bad to people, but you're gonna have to make hard decisions. And that's why this is such a hard topic for me, and such a fear, because it's not that I can't. I absolutely can. I know it's in me. However, you know, it's not going to be easy, you guys. And hard decisions are going to have to be made. You cannot help people. You cannot just help people. You cannot just let people in your home and be like, they look like a nice, loving little family. I'm sorry, they might be. But at this point, it's too late. And you put your family at a very, very high risk by taking a chance. And unless God's telling me loud as hell in my ear, take them, I'm not doing it, you guys. And I'm not trusting anybody. So fear, forget everything and run. There is a point when that could be a thing, and you have to have a game plan. You have to have an emergency crisis. Maybe it's, we get overrun, you run to the neighbors, or you run. I don't know what the plan looks like for you guys. I get it if you're in an apartment now, but be thinking about this, taking notes, and thinking about this when you get to your dig in location. Okay, when what's the end game? Where do you want to be one day? And be thinking about how you implement this into that. And if it's not, you're staying where you're staying for forever, then that's fine. But then you figure out your escape routes from that apartment or that home that you're renting, or whatever the case may be. Okay, you can do that part. All right. And all the tips you can still do, right? Prepare the space, don't trust anybody, all that stuff still applies. All right. So I would love to hear in the comments below, what do you guys think of this topic? What are your fears as a prepper? And what things have you done to prepare for, the day when well, yeah, we'll say that, the day that either a small family ventures onto your property and is asking for help, to a huge marauding group that you cannot do by yourself. What's your plan for that day? Is it to go down in a blaze of glory, or is it to fall back, get to safe positions, and then decide what you're going to do? And hopefully hopefully you can get past the time of whatever they spend on the property, and they keep it moving. Or maybe you get to a point where you can start taking people out, little by little, quietly. I don't know, you guys. But I know that it's a huge fear of mine, because of the choices that I know we'll have to make. So I hope we never see days like that. But if we don't think about this stuff now and talk about it now, when it happens, then you panic, and then you die because you didn't have a plan. So I guess I will see you guys on the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.